And once it opens, you go to this screen. I'm going to hit continue. Make it a little bigger. And here you have a couple choices. If you don't want to do a cleaning test and you want to use the modular cleaning program like a cookbook, you can go into any of these databases. The components database has just single components, but the solutions database has recipes for gels and solutions. So we're going to go into that database. And I know I want to make a xylene gel. So instead of scrolling through all thousands and thousands of components here, I am going to type in a keyword at the top. I'm going to type in xylene. Or if you just type in XYL, it'll take you to xylene. So I have tried to make some of these gels, and it's worth noting that not all the gel recipes in this database are created the same, and some don't work very well. For example, I tried to make this 88 milliliter xylene gel, and it does not gel very well. But I happen to know that the 67xylene33benzylgel works great. So we are going to click on that one, and it'll take you to a recipe. So on the recipe page, you see it tells you you would mix 67 milliliters of xylene with 33 milliliters of benzyl alcohol. And then down here you have your instructions for your carbapol and your ethamine. And this is a suggestion of how much water would be needed. It is a suggestion kind of based on some math and chemistry, and it's a good starting point, but most of the gels require quite a bit more water to thicken. So if you were to mix the gel, here would be your recipe, and if you press mix it, it'll give you an actual page with the recipe and a label if you'd like to print that out. So here you go. Here's the recipe to make 100 milliliters of M67xylene33benzyl alcohol gel. First mix and measure the solvents, 67 milliliters of xylene and 33 milliliters of benzyl, and set aside. Measure 2 grams of carbapol into a jar with a tight fitting lid. Quickly add 8.73 milliliters of ethamine C12 and mix vigorously until a smooth paste is formed. Add the solvent mixture, place the cap on the jar and shake. When mixed, remove the lid and add 1.9 milliliters of water. Replace the lid and shake vigorously until the gel thickens. And just now we will do a demonstration of that. Thanks.
Now I am.
Okay. Hi, today we're going to talk about solvent gels. So I wanted to show you some solvent gels that I've mixed up, and just to show you that it doesn't always work great when I do it either. This is an acetone gel that I mixed up a couple days ago, and I just wanted to show you that this was not solid gel when I mixed it up, but I let it sit for 2 days, and it actually looks really good now. It's a little bit yellow on the bottom because this gel was made with C25, and some of the C25 that you get is this kind of amber color, so sometimes the gels come out a little bit yellower. This is a failed gel I just tried to make. I had a little bit of water in the container because I'd washed it out, and my carbapol prematurely gelled and made this goo on the bottom of the gel container, and it won't gel. This is a good gel that I just made, except we didn't have record press, so we didn't record it. So we're going to try to make another one. This is the same gel that I'm about to make. So hopefully this one will come out like this one. So the first step is to measure out your carbapol, and I've measured everything else out, but I just wanted to show you all, if you haven't worked with carbapol before, what it's like. It's very powdery, and it needs to stay dry. Case in point. If you don't want globs like this in your stored carbapol, make sure that it's free from moisture. So I store it in a Ziploc container and a Ziploc bag. So we're going to weigh out. The recipe calls for 2 grams of carbapol, so I'm going to weigh that out. And of course, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I would be wearing a respirator and working. I don't have a fume hood, but I'd be working by my fan. So the next step is to, it's on the outside, good, is to dump your carbapol in and take your 8.73 milliliters of ethylamine C12 and mix that with the carbapol. It's really important that these mix together really well. I'm going to shake it, and then I'm also going to give it a little stir too. You want to form a nice homogeneous paste with as few lumps as possible. Something like that. So next I'm going to add 67 milliliters of xylene. Three milliliters of benzyl alcohol. 7 milliliters of benzyl alcohol. Then I'm going to do some shaking. And you want to have it mix really well. And I have some water here. The recipe calls for 2 mils of water. I'm going to add 2 mils of water. Shake again. And voila, the beautiful solvent gel.